igniting the flow, earth element channel. We'll begin our standing pose vinyasa flow sequence, moving straight into a back bend sequence. So let's begin. You're going to bring your feet 3.5 to 3 feet wide. You're going to turn out, and I will do the mirror image in this particular instance. You're going to bring your right foot out. This is my left. Begin front heel in line with the back arch. Going to inhale the arms up. You can take Rudra Mudra with the front hand if you would like. You're going to inhale to open up that spleen channel as it comes up into the rib cage here. Exhale, coming into Utthita Trikonasana. And again, bringing that top arm over the ear so you get that opening in the spleen channel as it comes up on the rib cage. Okay, from Trikonasana, in this sequence, you're going to step forward into Ardha Chandrasana. So I'll show you the modification here in a moment. Now, if this is a challenge for you, just stay here. But if you are adept at Ardha Chandrasana, then you can go ahead and try to grab the foot to get that extra quad opener for the stomach channel. And then release. From here, you're going to step way back into Virabhadrasana 2. I usually take the front arm or the top arm with the mudra to close the circuit of energy. You can gaze over your right arm, your right hand. A powerful warrior position, cultivating energy in the earth element, in the third chakra, second chakra to third chakra. Inhale, opening up that earth element on the side of the body here. And exhale, Parsva Konasana. And again, getting the opening here for the spleen. Then inhaling back into Warrior 2. And flowing back into Utthita Trikonasana. And return back to center. Let's go ahead and do that flow to the left side, and then I'll show the modification for this vinyasa sequence. Okay, so turning to your left, inhale, stretch the arm up. Exhale, flowing into Utthita Trikonasana. Top hand in Rudra Mudra. Stepping forward, Ardha Chandrasana. Grabbing the foot if you are able. And release. Stepping way back into Virabhadrasana 2. Warrior 2. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, Parsva Konasana. And coming into Virabhadrasana 2. And release, Utthita Trikonasana. Arm overhead. And come all the way up. Back through the center. And now, let's go ahead and show the modification. I'm going to bring the chair over. Now you can you can use the chair, or you can use blocks for the modification. I'm going to show the highest level modification, primarily for the Ardha Chandrasana or the half moon, because for the other modifications, you're just coming into the standing poses a little bit higher versus going into them lower. Okay, so coming into to your right side, Utthita Trikonasana. Again, inhale, stretch the arm up. And exhale, coming into Trikonasana. And stepping forward, you can slide the chair forward. For Ardha Chandrasana, just bring the leg a little bit lower if you need to. You can bend that leg back just for a little bit of a quad opener, even without grabbing onto the foot. You can pull that back with you. Coming into Virabhadrasana 2. And as you can see, I'm just coming a little bit higher in the position. For Parsvakonasana, you can come to the knee, and that makes that particular pose more accessible. Back into Virabhadrasana 2. And Utthita Trikonasana. And coming all the way up, back to center. So best, of course, if you have chairs on either side so that you don't have to move it side to side as you go through the vinyasa sequence. Okay, I'm going to move the chair to the side. And we're going to keep going with the flow, coming to the left. All right, full pose or continue with the modification. Inhale, stretch your arm up. Exhale, coming into Utthita Trikonasana. And stepping forward, Ardha Chandrasana. Grabbing the foot if you're able. And then release. Stepping way back, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, extend, exhale, coming into Parsvakonasana. And release back to Virabhadrasana 2. And Utthita Trikonasana. Arm extends overhead. And release. Coming back to center. Switching to the other side. Inhale. And exhale. Utthita Trikonasana. Stepping forward, Ardha Chandrasana. Grabbing the foot for the quad opener. And release. Stepping way back, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, extend the side body. Exhale, Parsvakonasana. And coming back up, Virabhadrasana 2. Into Utthita Trikonasana. And coming all the way up. Through the center. Other side. Inhale. Stretch the arm up. Exhale. Utthita Trikonasana. Stepping forward. Ardha Chandrasana. Grabbing the top of the foot. If you're able, you can use a block here to bring yourself up a little bit higher if it's tough on the hamstring, or bend the standing leg. And release. Stepping way back, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, Parsvakonasana. And coming back up, Virabhadrasana 2, into Utthita Trikonasana. Beginning to flow the poses a little more together. And as you practice this, it really becomes like a dance. And it's very nice to add some music to the vinyasa flow, music that you like. Let's do it one more time each side, then move to back bends. Inhale. And exhale. Utthita Trikonasana. Stepping forward, Ardha Chandrasana. And release. Stepping way back, Virabhadrasana 2. And inhale and exhale into Parsva Konasana. Inhale back up, Virabhadrasana 2. Into Utthita Trikonasana. And all the way back up. Coming through the center, other side, inhale. And exhale. Utthita Trikonasana. Stepping forward. Ardha Chandrasana. Really beginning to feel that energy flow through the meridians at this point. And coming into Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale. And exhale. Parsva Konasana. And back to Virabhadrasana 2. Into Utthita Trikonasana. And release back to center. Okay, let's go down to the floor, onto the knees. Tucking the toes under to begin. We're going to keep going since we've generated this heat and this wonderful flow in the body through the meridians. We're going to continue and dive deeper into back bends, deeply opening the stomach channel, which contains a lot of energy typically. So we free that energy in the stomach channel, improves our digestion, strengthens the second and third chakra. All right, so I like to flow into Utstrasana, kind of warming up into the pose. So you're going to reach your right hand back to the right heel, opposite arm extends up, hand in Rudra Mudra if you like, and then switch to the other side. And back to the other side, switching right to left. A nice flowing dance-like movement. Very good. Then go ahead and grab onto the heels and drop the head back. And inhale all the way up. Now when you're in the full pose, you're really going to want to press the pelvis forward. Think about getting the opening in the front of the hips, not so much hinging in the back. Lifting the chest, opening in the front of the hips, so it takes a little bit of the strain and focus out of the low back. Okay, let's try that again. Flowing side to side. One more time each side. And both hands back. Drop your head. And release. Okay. Now, moving on a little bit deeper, feet come flat. If you stay with the first modification, that's basically where you'll want to stay for back bends if they're difficult for you. Now, as far as the modification goes, if you can't quite reach back, then just flow the arms side to side. Get a little bit of an arch. If that's enough of an opener in the quads, then just stay right there and that's fine. Okay. If you want to go a little bit deeper, feet are flat. And again, reaching back for the heels and flowing side to side. Okay, now reaching both hands back for full Ustrasana. And release. And one more time, flowing side to side. And reaching back, dropping back, Ustrasana. And you can come back down, sitting on the heels. Really should begin to feel that energy flowing with back bends. It's a really good release, opening up and removing a lot of blocks by performing Ustrasana, particularly in that flowing way. So for those of you brave souls who want to move forward into Urdhva Dhanurasana, we will proceed with that. You can stick with Ustrasana, or you can take a break and move forward into the next segment. So going a little bit deeper, if you are ready, you're going to come onto your back. So prepping for full Urdhva Dhanurasana, you're going to bring your hands next to your ears. Be sure to draw your shoulder blades down. Take a few deep breaths here. And when you're ready, you're going to roll up the spine. In fact, you could practice a few times coming into Urdhva Dhanurasana, just rolling segment by segment up the spine, and then when you are ready, you can press up into full Urdhva Dhanurasana. Now, taking it step by step, you can first come onto the top of the head, and then press into full Urdhva Dhanurasana. Hold a few seconds and release. Now I like to come in and out a couple of times and then hold the third one a little bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and come into my second, rolling up. And back down. And then prepping for number 3, little longer hold. And release. All right. So definitely with back bends, you want to complete it with some forward bending and some twists to help to balance the spine. So let's bring the knees to the chest to begin. Can gently rock side to side. Then arms out to the side, drop both knees to the left. Couple of deep breaths here. And then coming back up to center, dropping both knees over to the right. You can turn your head to the left. And coming back up to center. And you're going to go ahead and come up onto your side. back up into a seated position. So there you go. That completes igniting the flow for the earth element channel. And it's a great sequence to help increase your energy, improve digestion, energize the second and third chakras. Okay, next we move into deepening. So we've gotten the body nice and warm. We're going to go deeper into opening the spleen and stomach channels. So we're going to move right into that segment. We're going to begin in Janu Shirshasana. That's a tongue twister for me. I'm not sure about you. So again, mirror image. You're going to extend the right leg out. Left foot comes to the inside of the thigh. And as you can see, this is like a mirror to the way that we began the sun salutations, similar to Vrikshasana and standing, except we're seated on the floor. And again, this contact with your foot to the inside of the thigh, stimulating the spleen channel as it runs up the inside of the leg. And then you're going to begin to fold forward. Again, like with the kidney channel and Upavista, you're going to keep the spine extending, deepen in the groin. So you don't want to be coming forward with this round spine position. You want to be lifted and extended. And so if that's as far as you can go, then that's where you stay and work. If you can reach for the toe with the middle and index finger to give you a little bit of light leverage, then you can do so. You can also use a strap around the foot, and that's very helpful in coming into Janu Shirshasana. So we're going to slowly work deeper into the pose with the breath. We're going to come into these positions 2 times on each side. So the first time, you don't want to try necessarily to go as deep as you can go. There'll be plenty of time for that on the second round. So just beginning to initiate the opening with the first round here. Keeping the breath smooth and steady. Okay, good. Then you're going to open up a little bit wider here. And we're coming into the side opening of Upavista, bringing the arm overhead. So you're going to shift your rib cage to rotating forward. Again, reaching. This time, if you want to begin with the palm facing up on the leg, you can do so. Eventually, you're going to reach with your palm facing up for the big toe. If you're able, again, you can use a strap if you need to. The most important part to me in this particular pose is opening up this side body as you're opening up the spleen channels that comes up here. The side body just doesn't get very much stretching in our day-to-day life typically and can get really tight. So it tightens down here, which affects the hips, affects the alignment of the hips, and it affects the root, second, and third chakras. So really focusing on this side opening here by extending the arm overhead. You can take Rudra Mudra with the top hand. I'm going to go ahead and anchor at the big toe. And you can turn your head to gaze up towards the sky. And again, you're slowly working the hand towards the foot, but just work where you're able to get this nice side opening here and opening of the spleen channels that comes up on the inside of the leg. Couple more breaths here. Okay, releasing Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana. Now we're going to come to the other side. Extending your left leg, right foot folds in to that like Vrikshasana position on the floor, but Janu Shirshasana as we come to the floor. Again, now the trunk is going to be facing over your leg and not forward, coming into Janu Shirshasana. That's really hard for me to say. It always has been. No matter how long I do yoga, 20 years, 27 years, 40 years, I'll still be saying Shirshasana. All right, coming forward, forward fold, deepening in the groin, keeping the spine extended. Nice deep inhalations and exhalations as you slowly move forward. And go ahead and release. And remember, we're going to be coming into that again the second time to go a little bit deeper. Now, Parivrita, Janu Shirshasana. There we go. Okay, palm of the hand turns up, rests on the leg. Other arm comes up overhead. We're getting this nice opening in the spleen channel up the side of the body. Top hand in Rudra Mudra to complete the circuit of energy, looking up towards the sky, gradually moving deeper with the breath. Couple more breaths in this position. And go ahead and release. Okay, other side. Coming into Janu Shirshasana, going to grab the big toe, extending the spine. Now you can come a little bit deeper, work a little bit deeper in the pose if you're able. Again, using a strap or grabbing the toe, just so the spine stays extended. Working with the breath to slowly deepen. And if you want to take the lock with the hands, if you're coming all the way forward, you can do so and fold forehead to shin. And go ahead and release. Now we're going to open Parivrita, Janu Shirshasana, reaching for the big toe, and top hand in Rudra Mudra. And again, you can go a little bit deeper in this position, just making sure you're getting this nice deep opening on the side of the body. And if you can reach for the foot and still maintain that rotation in the trunk, this left side of the rib cage is rotating back as this arm reaches for the toes. And then release, and you can come to the other side. Now, the really nice thing, why I will continue to encourage you throughout this workshop, is just learning these particular practice sequences by memory, is that you can take the time in each pose that you would like. You can go at the pace that you like, doing the vinyasa flow as you like, again, without having to pause or hesitate through an instruction, or go at my pace, or follow the instructions for my breathing sequence, so that you really get that connection with yourself and your own needs within your practice. And that's cultivated over time, but that's where you really begin to extract the juice from your practice on a deeper level. Okay, one more time each side. Janu Shirshasana. I just have to go slow. All right, Janu Shirshasana to the left side. And deepen in the groin, extending the spine. And folding forward, forehead to shin. And then release. Coming into Pararita on the other side. Palm is facing upward, reaching the arm overhead. Pararita, Janu Shirshasana, looking up to the sky. And you can reach for the toes if you're able. I'm a little tighter on this side, so I'm going to wait for the opening. And the toes are there, but I'm going to keep the rotation, the spine backwards rather than reaching for the toes on this side. So not happening this morning on this side. It's a little bit tighter for me. And so I'm going to go ahead and release. Now you will, as you go through your practice, notice differences on one side and the other. Just because you can go a certain distance in one pose on one side doesn't mean you need to force yourself to do the same on the other side. It's just honoring your body, where it is for that day. And for today, I'm just going to take a note of it. On my left side, it's a little bit extra tight. So as I work through my practices in the next few days, I'll be working on that, getting that a little looser and more open. All right, you can bring your legs back together. Sukhasana. So this completes the deepening portion of the earth element sequence. And next, we'll be coming into full relaxation, or what I like to refer to as the dissolve portion, where we really begin to mine the benefits of the practice. So now you're going to come onto your back. I'm going to come onto the back with you, Ichi Shavasana. I'm going to have you stay, and then I'm going to sit back up as I'm going to guide you through a meditation into the spleen organ itself. So we've opened up the flow of energy, and now the energy is really ripe for you to go in and connect with the organ specifically. And I know it may seem a little bit strange if you haven't had the opportunity to do something like that, but we do have the ability to go in deeply into the body and listen to the messages that the body has for us. All the information is contained within us that we need to heal, that we need to move forward in life. It's just a matter of getting still enough to hear that voice. So hopefully we've created the groundwork that you'll be able to do that in this relaxation. And if not, no worries. Just continue to work with it. And as you remove the layers, as you practice on a regular basis, you'll be able to access those energies easier and easier. Okay, onto your back for Shavasana. You're going to bring your knees together first and feet wide, just to help the low back relax, particularly after doing back bends. You can stay in this position if the back is a little bit tight. Palms up to the sky. Take a few deep inhalations and exhalations. Allow everything to let go. If you feel like your back is loose enough, you can extend one leg and then the other, allowing them to open and roll to the side. Get a few deep breaths here. And now I really want you to go in and just notice how your energy feels now as compared to when we started the yoga practice in the beginning, during the connecting phase of the Earth Element series. How did you feel then? How does your body feel now? Now I'm going to have you stay in Shavasana. I'm going to roll to the side and sit up so I can better guide you through the meditation. So if you would like to connect a little bit easier to the spleen, you can actually bring your hands. The location of the spleen is slightly to the left side, just under the rib cage near the diaphragm area. You can place your left hand over the spleen area and then the right, just to create a connection and a location as you go deeper into the body. So you can keep your hands over the spleen. And now I want you to go deeper inside the organ itself. And if you find it difficult to do that, just keep trying. Just keep tapping at the door of the spleen. Hello, let me in. Now I want you to just get a sense for the general energy of the spleen. Does it feel strong? Does it feel weak? You may find other words to describe it, like soggy or hard or dry. If any of those things come to mind or resonate, then you can just take note of that. Now, if you're not getting anything, again, that's okay. Just continue connecting, bringing your awareness to this area of the body. And just by bringing your awareness there, you can begin to shift the energy in a positive way. You're just giving attention to it. And by giving attention to it, it does make a big difference. So now, if you are able to make a connection, you'll go one step further and just ask the spleen if it has any message for you, if it has anything to say, anything it might need to function better, a message for you personally around boundaries or nourishing yourself. And just take note of the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay, and now you can slowly begin to bring your awareness back out into the body. You can slowly roll onto one side, keeping the eyes closed. Gradually work your way up into any comfortable seated position. And by performing the vinyasa flow of the earth element, you open the gifts of nourishing yourself on a deep level. You can go ahead and open your eyes. And that completes the earth element series. And I hope that you enjoy the series and feel nourished by it as you begin to practice it more regularly in your daily life. And I'll see you in the next segment. Namaste.